So the next question is, when and why did you think it was the right time to go full time?
So I kind of touched on that earlier a little bit. I'd been streaming at that point for 3 years. 2 of those years I'd been taking it a bit more serious. And I'd left my job where I was working in an office, the government, and I was just kind of bored. I was getting paid better money, but it was boring. And I was like, right, okay, postman. And I got that just in time. I got the postman just before lockdown started. So it was literally like right before. So then during lockdown, I was working through lockdown and I was earning decent money and I was home super early. So I could stream more, I could create more content. And I was like, then getting into it, like the flow of it a lot more. And I was like, I actually really enjoy this. I like this. It's hard work, but I enjoy this. I was like, I wonder if I'd just gain more traction, more of a following, more kind of, would I be more successful if I could dedicate my entire time to it instead of having to work around someone else's timetable, And that is the dream, right? I think everyone would rather work for themselves, wake up whenever they want, work whenever they want, go on holiday whenever they want, take sick days whenever they need, spend time with family whenever they need. Like, that's the ideal life, but in society it's quite hard to do that. And I said at the time, I think when I went full time I was 25, and I was like, do you know what, like, I know I'm probably, a lot of my friends around me are now like looking at kind of moving out or getting married or having kids, and I was like, I'm not doing any of those things right now. But at the same time, there's something I enjoy doing. Let me see if I can find joy in it. If I can, if I can enjoy it and also be successful doing it. So I saved up money, paid off my debts. Once my debts were cleared, I was like, okay, now I know how much money I've got going out. I've been consistently earning for the last year more money coming in from Twitch than I pay out each month. Let's save up money, and then let's, and that's also from my job as well as saving up from Twitch as well. Let's save up money and let's send it. Like, I was just like, now's the time. Like, I'm never gonna have a better chance than right now whilst I'm living at home. My expenditure's low. I haven't got a mortgage to pay. I haven't got bills, loads and loads of bills to pay. I'm not paying for kids. I'm not paying for, do you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't earning loads on Twitch, but I was earning more than I needed. And I was like, right, now's the opportunity. Because I think that's realistically, like, I think a lot of people would try content creation full time if they earn enough. But unfortunately, like, if you're grown, you've got your own house, you've got kids, people depend upon you, it's hard. Like, you don't earn enough money unless you've got like thousands of subs to really do much. And especially if you're a single parent as well, then it's even harder because there's not the opportunity of 2 people earning, and combined it then becomes like even harder. So then you have to literally like, so basically fuck them kids. Basically, don't have kids is what I'm saying. Just don't have kids. No, I'm joking. But you know what I'm saying. Like that was the.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I think some people sort of take people. I know there's been a few tweets about this on Twitter and stuff about people going full time. It's very, one, it's not for everyone. 2, you sort of have to reassess your situation before anything. Where, you think, can I afford to do this? Do I think I've got the capability of doing this and making this? It's sort of like on a scale, isn't it? You got a judge of how much passion and like ability in your what's the word, like how much passion and self-confidence you have in what you're doing compared to if you can afford to not be scraping or grinding your way out, because it is hard. It's not like an apprenticeship or like that sort of thing where you're getting that cash flow, but you are learning at the same time. You sort of just have to nothing's a given in content. No, nothing. Not one thing.
No.
Yeah, go on,
like my YouTube channels at the moment. Like, if you look at my YouTube channels, like, but across both of my YouTube channels, right? My second one that I've just started posting on consistently, and my main channel where I've been posting Apex gameplay probably for consistently probably for almost a year now. I want to say at least like 7-8 months. Like, I'm still not monetized on either of those channels. Like, I'm not. The amount of hours I poured into filming, recording, editing, scheduling, thumbnails, like even the ones that I make thumbnails myself, like all of that time I've poured in, no financial return on it. Like I haven't made any money on it, and I'm not guaranteed to make money on it because I need to be posting consistent content that people care about and that it resonates with people. And that's the difficult thing, is like you just pour so much time into those things, and if it's your hobby, then it doesn't really matter. But when it's your job, then it's like, okay, well, I'm wasting time here. Is there other things that I could be doing? But ultimately, I know the long-term goal that I'm going to need to get monetized on those at some point. And I think that just starting now, being consistent, getting into that process is going to be way more beneficial, like for me to just get it done and just keep doing it and learn how to like mass edit and get content out and be on schedule.
Yeah, keep growing with that side of it, because it's definitely a lot easier, I feel like, to get something out of YouTube once you're there compared to like if you're just streaming constantly. It's very difficult because obviously you make money off ads and monetization and like sponsorships and whatever else is coming your way. People are like gonna be more inclined to watch it because it's long form, so they can watch it at any point. Which is why, going back to what I was saying about live streaming, live streaming is right now it's happening. This is live, but long form content, you can watch it today, you can watch it tomorrow, you can watch it next week, you can watch it next month, next year. Like, it's gonna be there regardless. It's gonna be on a page. Some of the streamers that I started watching, or I've known, I used to watch them on YouTube first, and I didn't even know they streamed because I didn't used to watch Twitch. I used to just watch YouTube. That's what I used to do, just watch YouTube videos. Yeah, when I started streaming on Twitch, that's when I actually started watching Twitch, because my first the first two people I ever watched was Wig and Lulu Lovely. They were the very first two streamers I ever watched on anything, any game, anything. But before that, I used to just watch stuff on YouTube. I used to just watch like their YouTube videos, or I'll watch like other people's YouTube videos, but I never really correlated with going into their stream because I didn't go on Twitch. I didn't watch live streams. I just liked watching their YouTube videos because they were entertaining, and I sort of knew a few people. I sort of knew a few people through their streams as well. Not their streams, sorry, their YouTube videos. So like if they're playing with someone, I mean, oh, okay, they're playing with this person. Like, I watch their YouTube video, or then it comes up on your recommended or that sort of thing. You sort of get into the habit of going like, oh, okay, I'll go check this person out because they're playing with this person on their YouTube channel. But I never ever used to watch Twitch. And then I obviously discovered that they streamed, and I was like, oh, okay, this is like more personal now. Like, I can actually talk to this person rather than it just being a comment under a YouTube video. They're never going to know who I am. But sometimes I feel like you have to sacrifice, with what you were saying about trying to get YouTube partner and stuff. You sort of have to sacrifice some of your streaming to try and fit in around trying to get, into long form, because at the end of the day, long form is always going to be better than short form. And the now, the future and the past is always going to be better than, substantially from what you're doing right now, compared to having loads of videos backed up or loads of videos planned for the future that's going to help you grow, compared to like this one live stream where not much might happen. You don't know what's going to happen. Like, it could just be a dull stream, or it could be an unbelievable stream. You don't know. But a video, you're putting all your time and effort into that one thing to create, so people can then see like a highlight, so like highlights of stream, etc. Stuff like that.
The video I posted today, the one that the games that we played the other day where we tried to we fortunately that only took us 2 games, so I actually quite enjoyed it because I recorded for 36 minutes. So when I went to edit it, I was like, oh, it's only 36 minutes of gameplay. Edit it down to like 13 minutes. It probably took me 45 minutes to edit it. Like, it's not the best edit, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just simple cuts, bit of music. Like, it's not the craziest video, but I was like, do you know what? It's better for me to just do that, get that out, and have that video out on that Friday where it's like solid but not the best video in the world, than for me to just miss another week of content. But that's what I was saying, like, about the like single player games, like the beauty of it. And it's, don't get me wrong, it's a lot of editing, because you're having to go through like I mean, I played in the last like 3 days. I played like 24, 20, no, probably more than that now. Probably like 26 hours of Horizon Zero Dawn. So I've got 26 hours of content to edit and get through. However, it's not super like rushed because the videos are between like 30 to 50 minutes long, for an episode, right? But I don't have to rush getting those out, and because the editing process is so simple, like, I think I've got like 4 or 5 videos stacked up. If I wanted to, and I wanted to post it once or twice a week, that would last me weeks. If I post every day, it would last me like almost a week.
Yeah,
and that's just that's without even editing. That's only editing like 8 hours of the content. I've still got another like 18 to go through. So that's going to last me, in my eyes, weeks. And that's that catalog thing where I could probably dedicate a day to editing, exporting all of that content. And then I would have content for weeks just ready to go.
Yeah.
And I haven't got to stress and think like, okay, I need to get this, I need that, I need to get this, I need to get that. And I think that's what I'm trying to get to. Second channel just stacked, like with content ready to go. And then the Apex, I can hop on and get a video out every week from just whatever I played in the 2, 3, 4 days that I stream it. Do you know what I mean? And push that out a video a week that doesn't take loads and loads and loads of editing. Or even if it does take loads of it, I've got the time, as well as actually expanding on what I've already built.
Yeah, you obviously want to have the backlog, right, of, you know, videos that you've made. You don't want to just, you know, make one video every 1 to 2 months and then go, oh, okay, well, why am I not growing? Like, you have to, like, sometimes you have to have them bad videos. Like, you know, not every video that you post is going to be a good video, regardless of whether you think it's good or if your friends think it's good or if you think it's bad. It works both ways. Like, you know, I'm sure there's been numerous times where you've posted something, you think, okay, that's not that bad, and then it does really well, and you're like, what the hell? Like, why is that done? It's done a lot better than I thought it was. Or you have something you put a lot of time and effort into, and then it doesn't do well, and you're like, damn, like, that's annoying. I thought I was going to do well, but it just hasn't. Like, I can't do anything about it. It's just one of them things. But I remember saying that to someone. Yeah, I remember saying that to someone about a view, like especially a YouTube video. A viewer doesn't care how long that's taking you to do that video. You could, you know, it could take you 2 hours to edit. It could take you 25 hours to edit. It doesn't matter how long it's taking you to do that video. They just see what you've posted. That 10, 15 minutes, that's what they're seeing. So you have to put all your time and effort into doing that. So then they're like, oh, okay, this is sick. Like, I'm hooked on this. Rather than it being like, well, I've spent like 45 hours on this video. Like, it's still not nearly done. They don't care about that. A viewer does not care how long it's taking you to edit. And that's it. It's crap. Like, it's a crap feeling. I'm not going to lie, because especially
it pushes you towards not wanting to put effort into.
Yeah, exactly. And you just get demotivated. Yeah, you get demotivated by the fact that, you know, you spent this amount of time on a video, it hasn't done well. Well, then now why should I do that again? Because, you know, it hasn't done well, so I'm clearly doing something wrong. But it's just, you know, you have to be consistent in terms of, like, staying true to yourself, but also posting what you want to post, rather than it being like, okay, I'm just gonna, you know, edit this down quickly and just quickly do this because I think people are gonna like this, or, you know, I just can't be bothered. Like, I'm just gonna put that, just post that out. Like, who cares? Like, it, you know, people don't care. Like, they just want to see a good video. You know,
they don't. All they care is about the end product.
Yeah, exactly.
How good of quality and how interesting that was. And one thing that I've learned is that I feel like I'm an accomplished editor. Like, I can edit short form and long form to a decent standard, but I'm not the best editor. Like, I'm not very, like I was saying earlier about not being that creative. Like, when it comes to editing, I can pick a good moment to put a meme in. I can pick, you know, I can do that side of it. But there's certain elements of editing that I'm not very good at, you know, and like making, I don't know, make it like, for example, I think music's a big thing in videos. I think music keeps people engaged. And even if it's subconscious, it's not a conscious thing. But I think if the music fits the theme of the video, people are more likely to hang about. And that's one thing that I struggle at. I struggle to pick music and find music that fits a certain portion of a video that I have. And that means that I don't it's something that I feel like I can't learn, because no matter how many times I've spent watching people and what they're putting in, what music they're putting in, my brain still can't compute. Okay, so what can I put in and where can I put it? Like I hear it when I watch it, I see where they're putting it. It just doesn't work when I go to edit it. So it's something I just don't. I rarely do. Like I tried it this week because I was like, I want to try it, and I don't know if I did it well. I'll wait to see if I get any feedback on it.
I think it's to do with like that. That's just something I don't think you can really teach. That's what you're saying. That's just your brain. That's just your creativity isn't like as the same level as other people. Like, that's why I sort of like doing my own videos, because then it's personal to me. Like, I know I've done it. I know that what I've put out is, you know, to the best of my ability, or like at the time or whatever. Yeah. And I wanted to put certain things in certain areas, like memes, for example. Whereas if you get someone to edit it, you can sort of lose the whole point of where you want to go with it, because they're trying to edit in a completely different way of where you want it to go with the video. Do you know what I mean?
You have to find an editor who kind of has similar styles, or, you know, a standard that you
want to set. Yeah. Because you don't want to like lose the whole point of the video just because you wanted this person to edit it in this way, or, you know, which is like it's hard, because you, especially if you don't know how to edit, or like you're comfortable with someone else editing for you, unless you're going back and forth or showing constantly, which is going to take up a lot of time anyway. It's hard to sort of see where someone's going to take your video, because they just do it off the basis of, you know, I'm going to do it as I go. Yeah, as I go, rather than being like, right, I'm going to watch this full video and then I'm going to cut there, put this, edit this, make this look this way. And I don't think it works like that. You sort of have to do it in like snippets, and then sort of work things and, you know, delete things. And sometimes you have ideas and you don't think they're, like, I don't know how many times you've done a video or like been editing a video, and then you put something in and you go, okay, maybe that doesn't actually work, let me delete that out before I post this, or like you have an idea and you go, oh, okay, let me see how I can work for, and then you spend like 45 minutes actually trying to figure out how you want that idea to become like reality, sort of thing, in the video. Whether that's not knowing how to do a certain thing in like your software, or not knowing where to put it like in the video, or, you know, that sort of thing. It's that's the other side.
Something you just said is actually something I might try, which is segmenting it, like because what I tend to do is I edit and put everything together so I can see how it plays. But then I don't even know if you meant it like this, but splitting it into sections, the video, and then putting music to that section might be easier than trying to put music to an entire video. Let's say it's a 10-minute video, splitting it up into minute or 30-second segments, and then going, right, well, those two segments go together, and that would fit this song or this style of music. These two are similar. Maybe they can have the same song, but they're at different points in the video. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that might be an easy.
No, I think, well, for me personally, that's what I do anyway. Like, my YouTube videos or that sort of thing, I sort of like have an idea of where I want to cut each video. So, like, for example, recently I did the good clips of me and then the bad clips of me. Like, that's easy because I just have, they're generalized. Like, you know, if a clip's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. Like, it's, you know, easy to gauge that. And then you sort of take that away from everything in the software and then go like, right, I'm just going to focus on this section of the video, and I'm going to put make memes there, or put music there, or add in a different style or video transition in this section, and then right now I'm onto this section. Now I'm going to do this differently because it's a different type of video, in terms of, you know, it's easier to clip like bad clips. I feel that anyway. Like when you're editing bad clips, it's easier because you can take the piss out of yourself. Whereas good clips, it's sort of hard to make them look better than what it is, because it's just the video. Like, it's just, you know, you doing a 1v3 or whatever it is. Like, it's easy to watch that rather than being like someone missing like 5 PK shots and then dying or whatever. Like, you can sort of make memes out of that and make funny cuts and skits and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? But like with you, like you said, with music, that's also easy because you can have like, you know, hype music when you do something good, and then, you know, like troll and bad music when you're doing something bad. But obviously that depends on what you're posting, of course. But yeah, I mean, that's personally how I do it. But, you know, it's different for everyone, innit? Like, Right, okay, so what's your plans for the future / where would you like to go with your content? I know you've said briefly about, you know, you're trying to extend away from Apex and sort of do your own sort of thing as single player and make your own channel and stuff, but like what's the sort of plans, you know?
Yeah, so my plan is like I've always been a kind of a variety content creator in the sense that I've always played games that I want to play, but Apex kind of took over and I just kind of went with it, and I've never done it consistently, like to a point with variety content where I stick to it, and I want to I feel like I've built a name for myself within Apex. I'm not the biggest streamer in the world, and I definitely haven't hit the targets and goals that I'd like to achieve. But I do think for the longevity of my career, because I know how hard it is to be successful within content creation and streaming, that it is best if I continue to play Apex and continue doing what I'm doing, because I enjoy doing it. I enjoy playing Apex, but I think I've come to realize that I'm not going to get any bigger than I currently am playing Apex. I don't know if that's a and maybe it's something I just need to change, but like I said, I'm not super creative, and you know, some people have really good video ideas and they're really good at that, whereas I'm not. I'm just like pretty good at the game, and I feel like I'm pretty entertaining to watch as a live streamer. Turn that into content is a little bit different, so I want to expand on that by branching out to different games and kind of getting a more general following as well. So not just Apex, but you know, other games that I enjoy playing, because I don't just play Apex. Like, you know, I've told you before, I love Football Manager, so I want to get Football Manager into my content, because I think that if you have a game that you also love, that will also provide longevity. And that's a game that it's not interesting for everyone to watch, but even if it was just, you know, a YouTube series, or it was, you know, a once a night sort of thing, or one night a week sort of thing, then, you know, for a couple of hours, then it's, you know, at least building into that kind of new kind of player base, or like kind of viewer base. Audience, yeah, that's what I was looking for. New audience. And that's just my focus. Like, I want to be a successful streamer. I don't need to, like, of course everyone wants hundreds and, you know, thousands of viewers. Maybe not everyone does. I just want to get to a point where I can live somewhat comfortably. I don't need to live lavish, but like, I can turn around and say, like, my end goal for streaming and content creation is to get to a point where I'm earning more than I'd earn a regular day job or an office job or retail, or, you know, like a good office job, where I'm earning similar to my peers who took different paths, who stayed in employment. If I can get to like near that, or even just more or the same as that, less than that, with everything combined, then I'll be happy, because I'll have kind of reached the kind of point where I can think, okay, now I can change my goal. But that's my goal at the moment, is to get to that point, and I don't think that's possible if I just stick to Apex. I don't think it's possible anyway. For me personally, I think other people probably could, but me personally,
yeah, I think you know that's another hard thing with it as well, is you sort of have to like go with it and sort of like grow. You have to like learn that sometimes it just isn't for you, or, you know, sometimes certain things you're doing are just not working, or, you know, it's like trial and error. You have to sort of take your losses and, you know, L's or whatever you want to call it, and think, right, okay, well, now what do I do? Or, you know, now where do I want to go? Or what should I do with this now? And like, just being so driven on one thing can sometimes damage it, because you're like, well, I haven't seen any growth in this of what I'm doing. Like, if I'm just doing the same thing over and over and over again, nothing is going to change. Like, at least trying different things, and, you know, you might get that one lucky break, and then that's it. Then you can capitalize off that, rather than it just being like, right, well, I'm just going to stick with this because this is what I'm used to, and this is what I know, and this is how, you know, my stream works or my content works. You just got to think, you build it as yourself, not off the game. Do you know what I mean? Like, you need to remember that it's you, not like nothing you do now is all you. Like, it's not, you know, you choose to play the game, you choose to make content on it. Like, if you're not happy with a game, or, you know, you're not happy with where you're going, like, it's not hard to think, right, okay, right, now what do? I want to change that. Like you said, Football Manager, you love playing Football Manager. like you say, you can make it like a one-time thing a week, or people will tune into that because they go, oh, okay, he's playing it on Friday night, like, I've got nothing to do, I'm going to go and watch it. Whereas watching the same game constantly can sort of just be like repetitive, unless it's like, I'm doing this on the game, or I'm making this on the game, or I'm playing with this person, or like we're doing this, or we're doing a challenge, or it's hard to stream and think of ideas while you're live, or sort of like when you're offline thinking, right, what do I want to do tomorrow? Or I know the amount of times you've come on, or like I've come on, or whatever, and you're like, okay, I generally don't know what to do. But it is hard to think from the viewer perspective of, I'm tuning into this stream, why would I watch you? Like, why are you going to get my attention today when even you don't know what you're doing? And it's difficult. It is so hard because, especially if you're really consistent.
Is one of the most.
Planning is very, very.
Having contingency plans and like thinking like, okay, like again, this is an extreme example, but this is like a plan that I'm 27 now. If by the time I'm 30, I haven't achieved that goal, which is 3 years. If I haven't achieved in 3 years that goal that I had of earning, similar to my peers around me, I'm gonna probably quit full-time streaming and go to part-time. Not quit streaming altogether, because I still love streaming, but I'll quit to part-time and I'll reduce the amount of time that I spend doing it, because at that point I'll have been full-time for 5 years, streaming for 8, which I think is more than enough time for someone who's going to be successful, is going to hit those goals to hit. And if somehow in those 8 years I haven't figured it out to get to that point, then I'm still going to stream, but I'm just not going to devote as much time as I did, because at the moment I'm all in, like I'm on a poker table. I've literally gone all in, and I'm just waiting for, those cards that are flipping. I'm waiting for the hand to just go my way. And if it goes my way, great. Then, then we'll stay all in and we'll keep, we'll play the next hand. But if not, then I'm just going to fold my cards. Yeah. Because I don't see the point of, like I said, time's not refundable, and you can't keep spending time and not getting anything back from it. And that goes into everything in life. Like, I think there's certain things which, you can spend time in without any expectation back, relationships, family, friends, stuff like that. But when it comes to like, livelihood, when it comes to your job, when it comes to that, like, you can't just keep spending time, especially in this industry, doing nothing or feeling like you're doing nothing, even if you're, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You have to sort of like take real life into consideration as well, like the outside, the outside world, which is like we say, it's not for everyone. Some people can't handle not making what they think other people are earning, or they're like I've been doing it for this amount of time, I haven't got to where I want to be, and you just think, oh, okay, well, now I've got to just be back in the real world, because it is easy to get sucked into just being on the online world, or whatever you want to call it, where you see success of everyone, but that's a small percentage of people that are earning that, or like
it's hard. It is. I always compare streaming and content creation to being a professional footballer. Now, hear me out. Not when I say that, I don't mean in terms of like the physical and how fit and stuff like that. And take all that aside. Just talking about the actual competitiveness of the industry itself. Like, if you look at like football, right? You look at like Champions League, Premier League. You can go like or Europa League. You can go like Premier League, Championship. You could go, League One, League Two, Vanarama. Like, that is how I like to think of streaming and content creation. Is that you have your Champions League streamers who are like, I don't know, Nick Merckx, Dr. Disrespect, that's QC, Kai Cenat, Jinxie, all these people that are like raking in, Tim the Tapman, people who have got like, they're probably earning like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of pounds, like all combined. Like, if we're talking like subs, ad revenue, sponsorships, like what they're bringing in. Obviously, this is before tax, so I don't know their actual finances, but before tax, that's what they're earning, right? They're like your Champions League streamers. And then you got your Premier League streamers, who are earning a ridiculous amount of money, but they're not like super, super popular, but they've got like a very good following, they're earning money through sponsorships. Then Championship, League One, League Two, like, that's how I look at it and how competitive it is. And it's not for everyone. And in the same way with football isn't for everyone. Not everyone's going to make it. Not everyone's cut out for it. Like, it's competitive at the top. And there has to come a point where you go, do you know what? Like, you obviously try and give it everything you've got, but I feel like there does come a point in time, especially if you're full time. If you're part time and you work at the same time, it's different because it's not a job; it's a hobby at that point, right? But if it's your job, it's different because it's like, okay, well, how much time can you commit to this being like this, like without me getting to the Premier League? How can I sit in League Two for 8 years without getting to League One and staying there for a little bit, Championship, and do you know what I mean? Like having moments, but moments aren't longevity. You need long.
Yeah, no, it's a good analysis. Not gonna lie, because obviously you get that win and you think, right, like I've made it to League One now, and then it slowly goes down. Like you saying about the viewership when you got drops and stuff, you sort of slowly go down. It's sort of like in other terms getting relegated. Yeah, getting relegated. Yeah. But no, I mean you are right. There is. It's once you're at the top. Once you're at the top, that's what another thing as well. Once you're at the top, it's not just like, right, that's it. I can relax. I'm done.
No.
I've made it to this point. I've got this amount of people watching, because people's YouTube channels fall off. People's viewership falls off. Like I said, even if you've got 1,000 viewers watching you or 10 viewers watching you, nothing's a given. Yeah. Then 10 people don't have to turn up. Then 1,000 people don't have to turn up. Like it just isn't. That's just the way it is, especially live streaming anyway. And even YouTube videos, like, if you haven't posted in ages and you post something that isn't good, people are not going to go, oh, okay, well, they might go and watch it. Oh my God, like my favorite person's posted a video, but it ain't going to do as well as if you think, right, let me just constantly push out what I want and then gradually get better. It's always harder to think of, right, the next thing I do needs to be better than what I've just done, 100%. Because then you'll just slowly go down a hill of like, oh, okay, well, I'm just a steady pace. I'm not really progressing anywhere, and it just, it's going nowhere. Like, I'm sort of going into a dead end, basically. But yeah, it's obviously like a difficult thing to stay on top of. But like it gets, it gets a bit easier when you've got the luxury of having like, more income and other people working for you, and you've got more time to focus yourself on other things. And because
think about it, like if you're earning enough money to pay other people to do time-consuming jobs, you can focus on the thing that you love doing the most, right? Because if I'm completely honest, like the thing that I love isn't creating content, which is contrary to my actual job title. I'm a content creator, right? But the bit that I love the most is streaming. That's the bit I love. I love going on stream and playing a game and engaging with my community and meeting new people and talking to regular people, and do you know what I mean? That like sense of community, and that's the bit that I enjoy. That's the bit that, if you could tell me, okay, if you want to get paid for doing one part of your job, because like I said, there's multiple bits to it. What is it you want to do? It's not the social media managing. It's not, it's not engagement farming on Twitter. It's not, the community management aspect. It's the streaming part, which I guess the community management part is a part of it, but that's the bit that I enjoy the most. And if you can pay people to do your editing, make your thumbnails, do the jobs that would consume your time, that you think, okay, well, I can afford to, but you're essentially buying that time. You're buying that time by getting someone else to do it. You're paying someone to give you the time to do things that you love. And everyone, that's the point that I would like to get to, where I can just go, okay, these aren't my favorite things to do. I do them because I have to, but if I could pay someone to do it, I would. And that's where you want to get to. You want to be able to get to just doing what it is that you're passionate about and what you love.
Yeah, like you say, it just comes with it. Like it just happens. Like, and that's all to do with growing. Like everything you do is to grow your stream. Like whether that's posting videos or posting tweets and whatever. Like you don't do it just because you think, oh, okay, I'm just gonna do it just because I don't care. Like I'm just gonna randomly post this. Like you're doing it to grow one section of what you want to be, whether that's a YouTuber, even like a TikToker or whatever that is. Like if you can make it on one platform, you try and focus it, funnel that towards the platform that you actually generally want that to happen. Like for you, like you said, is streaming. For someone else, it might want to be like a YouTuber, it might want to be a TikToker. Like it's whatever you desire it to be, like whatever you think
exactly
as the most outcome for you. Right, well, this is the last question from us anyway, and then we've got the other questions. So you said, we spoke about this a little bit, but you recently won the first ever UK Community Cup. Congrats, mate.
I did, yeah.
You did that,
Cheers,
yeah?
mate.
Okay, yeah, no worries.
I did, mate, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about how you felt winning that and what your plans... I mean, I suppose that sort of ties into the other question, what you plan to do next with it. I mean, I guess you sort of answer that in a little bit.
Yeah. But... I mean, like, it was an amazing opportunity to be involved in. And they said it was the inaugural one, so people don't know what inaugural means, the beginning or the start. So hopefully it's the start of many to come. And yeah, I mean, I was buzzing to win. I was like super focused. I knew I had an opportunity. There's fireworks going on that side, by the way. So if you,
that's for you, mate. I set them off when I was doing this question.
Oh, cheers, mate.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah,
oh,
yeah. I just clicked my fingers quickly. My Crimp's outside.
Yeah.
That's why she had to go, mate. She's outside lighting she's lighting the fucking fireworks. I told her, quick, hurry up. She's like running along. You know what I mean? Yeah. There you go, mate.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. Like, it was a great tournament, and I would love to be involved in the future. Even if I'm not, to be involved once and to win it, to win the first one. Do you know what I mean? Like, first name on the trophy. It feels good, mate. It's unreal, and I think it's, you know, outside of everything, it's kind of probably the crown jewel so far in terms of what I've done. It's not the end goal. It's not, you know, I'm not gonna become a tournament chaser. I'm not gonna be signing up and, you know, I might try and win the LGS, but you know what I mean. I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna, like, it's not gonna become what I do. But to be involved with something like that was, you know, cool as a UK creator where there's not really loads of opportunities on this side the river, especially for this side of the pond. Sorry, for Apex. But yeah, like I said, that money coming in is just going to free me up for the foreseeable, to be honest, because I'm not going to spend most of it. I'm going to keep it in savings, and it's just going to free me up to just not worry about how many subs I've got or how much money I'm making each month. Because if I'm not making enough money, I've got a big backup fund there to just sit and support me, and it will just free me up to just try and do what I want to do, which is why I'm already kind of trying to plan. Now I know that money's going to be there. And I had plans to do this anyway, but I've almost accelerated them because I'm like, okay, well, I now know that money's coming in at some. I can now start to work on kind of almost phase 2, if you want to call it that, of like what I want to do as a creator and where I want to go, which is being, you know, a streamer and content creator of just all games, not just Apex Legends. And Apex Legends is going to be, I think I'll always have a main game, but I think that ability to play other games that I enjoy and to share it with others, whether that's on YouTube or YouTube and Twitch, is going to be like important for me going forward.
Yeah. I agree with the terms of like not going down the route of like one game, because, you know, eventually you're just going to be playing a game for the sake of it rather than playing it or streaming for the sake of it, rather than in terms of being like, I'm really excited to get on and play this game, and like, you know, viewership might be down or it might not be that great, but like, I'm enjoying what I'm doing, and in terms that makes everyone else happy because you're happy. Like, at the end of the day, no one wants to come on and see someone playing a game and they're just like miserable, like they look like they don't want to be there, they're upset, like, you know, you'd rather them.
I've been there.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. You
been there where I just play Apex because you know, I'm averaging 35 to 40 viewers and it's the highest viewership I've had for months, and I'm like, oh, I need to keep playing Apex, but I'm not enjoying Apex, but people are enjoying watching me play it, and I just force myself to play it, and I'm overdoing that. I need to. I started streaming and being a full-time content creator for the fun of it because I something I enjoy doing. So I shouldn't. Sometimes I feel like I lose that sight and I do things just because of a number as opposed to remembering why I'm doing it, which is because I love doing it. So I've got to keep that love aspect of it and do things that I love doing and not do things for a number or for other people. I need to do it for me. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do now.
Yeah. I mean, that's why, if you think about it, that's why everyone starts, right? You don't start because you think this game's going to do well and I'm going to be good at it because you've never played the game. You stream because, when you first start streaming, you stream because you think people might want to watch you, or you think you're entertaining, or you think, you know, there's something about you that's unique. Like, you don't stream going, this new game's coming out, I know for a fact I'm going to do good on this game, because you don't know if the game's going to blow up, don't know if the game's going to, you know, crash after 2 weeks. Like, you just sort of have to judge it as you go, sort of thing. But it's easy to like lose that because, you know, you're playing a game that's quite popular, you're meeting a lot of people, but if you're not having fun playing it, then you just sort of have to, you have to sort of switch it up and think about yourself more than just, viewership and stuff.
Yep.
But I mean, for the game to be going this long is, very impressive for a game that started a few years ago and had like Warzone and stuff like that competing with it. It's very, very impressive that it's still a thing and like attracting loads of viewers and gaining a lot of sponsorships and stuff. But yeah, just live it large. Yeah, is that the plan? Yeah,
that's the plan. Yeah, like literally. I mean, a new set of golf clubs because I'm playing with like a proper old set. My set of golf clubs is probably like 10 to 15 years old. Like it's proper old tech, and obviously there's like new golf tech to make you look less shit, basically.
Right.
Golf.
Okay.
So probably gonna get myself new set of golf clubs. That'll probably be one of the main expenditures, and then a new PC is also on the cards. And then the rest of it. I mean, at that point, after I've spent that, I'd imagine it'd probably still about that probably about 5k left over. Do you know what I mean? Maybe a little bit less.
5 then.
But I mean, it's more than I've had sat in savings. So do you know what I mean? It'll just sit there and chill, and it will free me up. I'm not crazy on a crazy spending spree. It'll just be things that I've not been able to do. I might be treat myself to some new clothes, things like that, and then the rest of it just chill and I just kind of
relax on it.
Kind of figure out what I'm doing. Yeah, man. Just figure out what I'm doing.
That's the best way, I think, though. Not just thinking, right, I've got this. Let's just go crazy and book 5 holidays and go.
Exactly.
Man,
yeah.
It's one of them ones where you don't want to do that, Right, so these are the questions from chat. I don't actually know who these have been sent by, but we've got roughly 7 questions. So you can just, take as long or short as you want to answer these. I'm guessing a few of these are for me and you, but I mean, predominantly you, I guess.
We can do that.
How do you feel about people who say you shouldn't charge for your time? So I'm guessing that's going back to if people are saying...
Who's saying that? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. This is a question written down.
I know.
I guess it's going back to like the partnerships and sponsorships and stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
Because there are people out there that are saying that,
Yeah, I mean, I'd ignore them. Again, only give up your time if you're happy to, right? Like, if you think you should be reimbursed for your time, then you deserve to be paid for your time. So, for example, Wardy's my friend. He's doing a podcast, and it's something that it's about streaming. It's about what I do, and I feel like value and insight to a few people if they have any questions to ask, or answering questions helps them out and gives them kind of an insight of what it's like to be a full-time creator. Not at the top end as well. Like, but bear in mind, like, I'm not How. I'm not Daltouche. I'm not Wig. I'm not, that's not the scale that I'm working on. I'm a small full-time content creator, but about how I can make it work despite being on the lower end of the kind of viewership spectrum and where I'm at. Like, if people are telling you, though, not to, be paid for your time, I'd just show them where the door is. Because if it's something that you deserve to be paid for, then you should be trying to get paid for it.
Yeah, I think
so. Like any promotion of a product or a game, that you're not. I don't know how else to really put it. Like, I play Apex and play it for free every day, right? And promote Apex essentially because I play it every day. That doesn't mean when Apex came to me and offered to pay me money, I went, no, I'll do it for free, guys. Don't worry, because they're asking me to edit videos. They're asking me to come up with creative content ideas to record. Like, it's taking time out of my day that I could be doing other things. So I deserve to be paid for it,
I think it's... I wouldn't say people frown upon it, but it's looked over a little bit in terms of, people just see it as you're just sitting in front of a screen and gaming. But, streaming isn't just that. Like, there's so many other things that are going on with that. Whereas, if you had Logitech sponsor or partner with McDonald's are not going to do that for free, are they? They're not going to go, yeah, we'll do, we'll sponsor with you and we'll promote your product and we'll make a new range of something coming out. Of course, they're going to want a percentage of what's going on with that, or they're going to be paid to put their name on that thing. It's the exact same as if someone's coming to you about, partnering with a brand or affiliate or whatever it is, like, you know, you gotta see yourself as a brand as well as just as a person, because, you know, you're not just.
I think basically the answer to that question is it depends, and that is quite open ended, but it depends on what you view it as. So, you know, if it's something that you're happy to do for free, you know, and you're happy to give up your time to do it, and you don't want to ask to be paid, then don't. If you want to try and see if you can get paid, try. If you want to get paid, ask. And if they say no, don't do it. Like, that should be the approach for everything. Like, if it's something you're happy to do and you don't really care if you get paid or not, do it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, if it's going to take up a lot of your time, you deserve to be paid for it, and you're doing this as a job, 100% you're well within your right to get paid for it, especially if it's taking you time. 110%.
I think it's sort of like on the scale of opportunity / you know, payment, and then time. You got to think, okay, is me doing this worth my time? / am I going to get paid? / do I think the opportunity is good enough for me to warrant my time in giving that effort? You know what I mean? What you were saying about, you know, when you got invited to the Post Malone thing, you didn't care that you were going to get paid because you got invited to a sick event, which you were the main game you play anyway. So the opportunity of that is more substantial than getting paid. You know, it's like if they said to you, we're going to pay you 50 quid. Like, you still gauge the opportunity over than the actual, you know, money, rather than it being just all about that, you know. But yeah, I think you're right about that. Yeah, and like, you should definitely know your worth.
There was
about
a game.
That.
There was a looter shooter game that emailed me and they said, "Oh, we've seen you've been playing the Cycle Frontier. We've seen your streams. We'd like you to come play test our game. But we, you know, bring it out. We to stream it. We'll pay you." Fine, 100%. Yeah. If they'd have emailed me and said, "Oh, do you want to check out our game and stream it for a couple of hours?" I'd have looked at the game. If it interested me, I'd have probably played it, even without payment. If it didn't interest me, I'm not going to play it. But when they said they were going to pay me for 2 hours of my time, the money that they were paying me, in my eyes, was worth it, because it's probably more than I'd get paid for streaming just 2 hours of, you know, for example, Apex. Like, I'm not guaranteed to get anything. And it's only 2 hours of my time trying a game. So I was like, yeah, I'll take it. Like, it's an opportunity and it's a payment. Like, I'm not going to, do you know what I mean? I'm not going to say no to that. But if they had turned around and gone, oh, then they sent me another email next time when they're doing the next playtest, and they were like, oh, yeah, we've made some changes. Do you want to playtest the game for 2 hours? We're not offering payment this time. No, I didn't enjoy it the first time, so I'm not interested. Thanks for the invite to the first one. But it's just, it didn't interest me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, it's not, you know, like you say, it's got to be about opportunity as well, because if it doesn't align with what you're doing, like, realistically, why would you take time out of what you'd usually be doing to do something for someone for absolutely nothing? Like, no, like, you know, new people coming in, or, you know, them promoting them on their social media, or saying like, oh, Black Boy's playing this game for us, playtesting us, here's his link, you know, or even a payment. You know, you have to be getting some form of thing in return, rather than just someone saying, do this for me, and you're not going to get anything in return. Yeah, pretty much.
Which, it's just like anything, as long as you're getting paid. Like, most people would do anything. You know, for example, like, if the sponsor of Make This Bottle sent me an email tomorrow and said, oh, we've seen you from our bottle and stream, we'd like to sponsor you, we're going to pay you, you know, £500 a month, but you must show the bottle on stream at least once, right? I'd be like, all right.
You should do that anyway, yeah. So it just aligns with what you're doing, your everyday life. Same as what you're saying about the headset and, you know.
But if they went to me, oh, we've seen you've been drinking the bottle on stream, you know, we'd love to work with you. We're going to give you a 10% affiliate code. You have to show that. I'd be like, no, I don't have to show it every stream. If that day I'm drinking from another bottle, I'm not going to go and wash that bottle just because you've said so. Yeah. But you're not paying me to do it. Whereas if you're paying me to do it, I might make sure the bottle, like, because then, okay, well, I have an obligation to you to receive a payment. Do you know what I mean? Like, it just,
You don't want to come across as that guy who just sort of takes anything just for money.
No.
You sort of have to do it like I say, going back to aligning with what you would usually do anyway. You know, it's like, if, I don't know, this is so random, but like, say a company hit you up and like, right, we want you to, you know, dress up in a different way every single stream, or like dress in like a tutor or whatever. You ain't realistically going to do that because you ain't really going to do that in your everyday stream anyway, regardless of them paying you. I mean, yeah. I mean, some people might want to see that. Yeah.
The thing is, I know what we're saying. Like, you don't be that guy that pays for everything. But let's say, for example, I mean, I'm going to put this question to you. Let's say, for example, you know, a mobile game, or let's call it Raid Shadow Legends, right? They come to you, and it's not one of those you have to get X amount of downloads. They come to you and they say, listen, Woody, you want you once a week to do a Raid Shadow Legends stream, right? And we're going to pay you £500 a week. So you get $2,000 a month to do one stream, guaranteed stream every week of Raid Shadow Legends.
Yeah.
You're taking that.
Yeah.
You're taking it.
Yeah.
You're taking it, yeah. Because, don't get me wrong, I don't love Raid Shadow Legends. I've never played it. But if someone's going to pay me to play that game, and it's a guaranteed form of income, I'm sure I can learn to love it. And if I don't love it, then listen, guys, look, it's not working out. I'm really not enjoying this game. Like, but if they're going to pay me to try it and play it, I'll give it a go.
It's like your time is, like you were saying earlier, your time is value at the end of the day. Like, you could be using that time, regardless of what the price is. Obviously, if it's really, really low, then yeah, maybe not. But like, you know, if it's roughly around what you would be getting, then you'd think, okay, you know, I could just try it. Like,
depends on where
you never
are.
know.
Depends on where you
exactly.
are in the league system.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're in League 2, you're more likely to take that. But if you're a Premier League, Champions League streamer and you're earning tens, hundreds of thousands of pounds a month, that couple of £1,000 ain't going to make a difference. And if you don't want to play Raid Shadow Legends for a stream a week, then you don't have to. You can make that conscious decision to go, okay, well, I don't have to. And it's not selling out. It's, you know, it's an opportunity, financial opportunity that you have to go, okay, does that make sense for me? Do I stream games? Yes. And they're asking me to play a game every week. You know, if I was a fitness influencer, for example, right, and my streams and my content was fitness, and then a games company emailed me and said, play this game every week, and I took it, yeah, it might not fit. Do you know what I mean? It might look a bit, no, what's he doing? But because I play games, do you know what I mean? It works. Like, it's not like I'm taking a makeup sponsorship or something, and I don't wear makeup. Like, it's not. And I'm trying to sell something that I don't use.
I think you sort of have to, you know, look at a lot of things before you accept it. You have to look at, you know, what do I gain out of this? Like, whether that is, does that align with what I'd be doing anyway? Is it something that I'm realistically interested in, or like have a slight interest in? And, you know, is it like overall, is it overall worth your time of what you're doing taken out of your week to what you'd be doing normally, you know, regardless of what it is, 100%. Whether it's editing, streaming, whatever. But like, it's one of them things where you're saying about the affiliate stuff, like, you don't want to just, you know, if it's an energy drink and you don't drink energy drinks, like, it doesn't really align with what you're doing, regardless of if they're saying we're going to give you this and that, or give you a code and blah, blah, blah. You can't just, you know, you sort of have to be transparent with yourself and thinking, if someone asked me to do this just for me, regardless of anyone else watching, would I do it? And if the answer's no, then, you know, you shouldn't just take it just because you think, you know, I've got to get this out of it, you know?
Yep.
Right, well, that's cleared out that one. Next question. Where would you guys go to learn how to make content? I think Shaf said this.
YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube probably the main one.
YouTube.
Or
YouTube
other streamers.
Yeah, other streamers. I mean, YouTube and TikTok are, as much as like consuming content, it's definitely educational, because it just depends on the perspective you're looking at, right? So, for example, someone might watch one of my videos and be like, "Oh, that was a really cool bit of editing he done there. Like, that was, you know, I want to try and learn how to do that." Then they go on YouTube and they search, you know, how to make an image track a point on a video in editing, right? And then for Premiere Pro or DaVinci Resolve or whatever the program is they're using, right? And that's how you learn to edit and create that content. But then just learning how to make content, you just look around, you see what it is other people are doing, and then one day you might be watching your stream back, you might watch a clip and be like, oh, I could do this with that, or I could do this, and you can try and learn how to do that. Like, it's just about trying to be as creative as possible and trying to like incorporate things into what you're doing. Like, there's some things, not particular videos, but there's moments within video editing that I've been like really pleased with, like things that I've done that I thought were really funny and like really well done. But it's not every single video. Like they're just moments. Like, I know that I can edit like a moment in the video and I feel like it's really good, but a whole video I feel like I kind of just get. Like, I feel like I'm running out of time and I just kind of rush it almost.
Yeah.
But yeah, YouTube, definitely YouTube and TikTok and watching content is definitely a way. It's definitely the best way to learn how to make content.
I think that's another thing that people look over is actually watching, whether that's watching how to get better at a game, watching how to get better at making content, whether that's, you know, whatever that is, watching stuff engages your brain because you think, okay, I can do that, I can do this is how they did that. Like for me, I'm more of like a visual learner than like someone telling me like, okay, go on DaVinci and click this. I'd rather you like just show the screen so I can go, okay, it's there, I know the icon, I know what this is doing, I know if I drag this over here, do you know what I mean? It's all sort of visual, but like actually watching people do it or can help as much as, you know, actually doing it yourself or just trying to figure out yourself. You can always get something out of that rather than it just being, you know, trying 100%. To figure it out, you know. Next question. I think you sort of covered this, but like maybe a few people didn't hear it. Do you think you should have started streaming on TikTok before Twitch? I guess that means like other platforms, I guess. TikTok, YouTube, etc.
So yeah, like we should. Yeah, I think before streaming.
No, before you. So, do you think you should have started streaming on TikTok before you started on Twitch?
Oh no.
So they're saying like, do you think you should have focused on?
I don't think so.
Doing like TikTok and YouTube before you started Twitch.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay.
TikTok wasn't a thing when I started.
Yeah, true.
So
TikTok was only been recent.
It wasn't a thing. TikTok's been like the last like 3 years or so, maybe like 2 years, 2.5, 3 years. Like it's been relevant. Do I think it's a good resource to use? Would I stream on there if my PC could handle it? Yeah, because it's just an extra platform, right? It's not, you know, the same way that like I would stream on YouTube more if I didn't have to play copyright-free music. The benefit of Twitch is that I can play copyright music because I can remove it from my VOD and clips and I won't get a live ban, whereas YouTube, you can't do that. There's no option to remove it from the VOD because the VOD is the live stream. So do I think it's worth it? Yeah, I mean, if you do it, like I don't think there's any harm in doing it. Would I do it before as like a point? No, I don't see any point. Like you may as well do both at the same time.
Yeah.
Or just do one. I feel like TikTok to get paid on TikTok's quite difficult, I think.
Yeah, I think they just changed their creator thing, I believe. They've just like cut it down quite a lot. But I think that question was more to do with like, do you think you start not streaming on TikTok, but started TikTok and other things before you started Twitch? But for me, I don't think, you know.
I agree. Like I think like creating content before you start streaming on Twitch, I think it's a great idea. Like learning how is beneficial if you're looking to grow as a streamer and build a brand and like build, because that content will always be there. Like my TikTok videos will live there for eternity, but my Twitch stream that I done today will be gone in a couple of weeks or a month or whatever. Like it won't exist anymore on Twitch unless I make a channel, download them, make a channel and upload them on YouTube, right? They're never gonna exist forever. So whereas TikTok is kind of like a TikTok, YouTube, they're a catalog of your content start to finish where you can see like progress. And also they benefit you in terms of growth. So I would like do it before if you haven't already started. But in terms of streaming, like I think that you should do both at the same time if you can. I don't think there's any harm in streaming if your PC can handle it. Like if it can handle it, do it. Do you know what I mean? Or even if you want to do it off your phone and just like 100% do it. Yeah. Like if you feel like you can do it, then do it. Yeah,
definitely. Sure. I think TikTok's a good.
My issue with TikTok streaming off the mobile is that mobile would be over there, and then my chat's over there, and my game stream's in the middle. So I'd just be like this all the time. Yeah. Like it's just if it was all on one screen, it's like easy.
Perfect.
Do you know what I mean? But it'd be too much.
Definitely, yeah. That is a difficult one to like. You'd be looking all over the place if you used to do that.
Yeah,
that'd be an absolute nightmare.
But like Javi in the Barcelona midfield,
checking. But no, I do agree with like maybe not before Twitch, but like if you're trying to do it because it's growing your Twitch in general, like whether that's posting on there or streaming or whatever it is, you know, it's always good to branch out to other platforms. Okay, question number 4. How do you guys, obviously for both of us, I guess, how much do you guys feel you would need to live comfortably as a streamer?
Go on, you go first. If you were just full-time streaming and just, I guess, just subs, we'll just base it off subs.
Just subs.
Viewership. Because I think viewership's hard to do because obviously, I mean, viewership, if I had like probably a few hundred off the ad revenue, if I streamed like enough a month, I could probably survive.
I feel like going back to, you know, what an average 9 to 5 would be, I guess that would be comfortable because, you know, people can live off 9 to 5s. Okay, not comfortably, like some people struggle with bills and stuff, but obviously you've got the added bonus of having like exposure and then other income outside of Twitch rather than it being like a full-time job where you're just getting solely paid by this company. You're not going to get any sort of outside work unless you're doing like, you know, self-employed work if you're an electrician or plumber, etc. I'd say around the mark of somewhere where you're earning what a, you know, normal 9 to 5 would be paying, or maybe a bit under or over. That sort of ballpark though, where it was, you know, it's comfortable to live, but you've got the added bonus of, you know, meeting other creators, going to events. You get the added bonuses of just rather than it to being like, you know, whatever job it is, and you're only getting paid that wage every month. You've got all the added extras of streaming on any other platform, like making content on another platform. Like I said, going to events, getting in an org, getting paid by an org or sponsorships or whatever. You've got that added bonus of that. That would be my answer anyway.
I think just if I was just to answer the question, just based like, what would I need to live comfortably, like off Twitch alone? I've always said it. Like I think in my current situation where I don't pay a lot out every month, pay a little bit of rent. I pay, you know, my phone bill, a few extra things. Like, I reckon 500 subs every single month is like bit like minimum borderline, because that would be like minimum of about £1,000 a month, and that's just obviously that's just subs. Like, you know, that'd be bottom end of kind of like what I'd need to be comfortable. But like in terms of being comfortable, that would be like that's like a goal. Like that's if I get there and I can stay there, that's like something I can build on.
Yeah,
but I know for some people they need a lot more because their life's a lot more expensive.
Yeah, of course. It's always about, you know, you can't just judge your life on other people's like success or whatever they've got going on. But it is difficult. That is very difficult to not fall into the trap of going like, this person's doing well for themselves, I can do that too, or you know, everyone's completely different. Like there's circumstances, what they're going on in their personal life. Whatever. But yeah, that's both our answers, I guess. Pretty similar, I guess. Okay. Okay. Okay, I can see Shaft's asked this, as it says in brackets. Blame Shaft for this. What kind of content would you make on OnlyFans if you branched out onto it? I'll just put my gameplay on there, mate. 1v3s.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably just sling it around a bit. Do you know what I mean? Like, probably maybe dress it up a bit and helicopter it or something. I don't know.
Oh, God. That's a great question, Shaft. Thanks for that, mate. Cheers for that. What would I, mate? I mean, I don't even know, mate. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to watch me on there, I'll be honest. You know, a tall, pale, ginger kid. Like, I don't think anyone's going, oh, yeah. Fancy a bit of that.
What do I get that hot tub? Do a bit of women in the hot tub.
Yeah, like start doing some signs and like, get the bunny ears on and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
That's it.
But yeah, Shaft, what the hell is that question? Oh God. Oh, this is actually a very good question. I've answered this.
Okay.
Has full-time streaming changed how your family / friends IRL act towards you, or how they see your profession? So I'm guessing that sort of goes in with how you react in, like, you know, not seeing your friends as much or not seeing your family as much, or the way you think, or like, you know, your different mindset, you know? I'm guessing that sort of links into that, but that's actually a decent question.
So, it is a very good question. I think that was it was Dendritic Destroyer who asked that one. I'm pretty sure I remember seeing that name next to it from memory, because I actually copied that one as well. But so okay, I'll start off with family. Has it changed how my family act towards you, or how they see your profession? So not really, no. My mum was very supportive. Like when I was like, this is what I want to see if I can do this. I'm earning enough money to pay my rent basically every month, and she didn't really care as long as I could pay my rent. That's fine. Like, because that is my only obligation. As long as I can pay my rent, so that she can pay the rent, like overall, and pay for food and pay for bills and stuff. As long as I can contribute, then she didn't mind. She didn't really understand it. Didn't really not super. Doesn't take a super keen interest in what I'm doing. But if I tell her, she's interested, right? But she doesn't like actively ask me like, how's this? But she never really changed, how she acted. But she definitely, like, I think over the last like year has seen a change in like how I've stepped forward, almost, like, not in terms of opportunities, like, because whenever I get something come up, I always tell her, and she was like, oh, it's amazing, like, and it's kind of like changed, I guess, perspective on what is available in the space and how you can generate income. I think that also goes kind of the same for my friends have never changed how they act towards me. I think they probably questioned at the start, like, they probably questioned, almost like didn't quite believe that I could almost make it. I mean, I never really got that impression. It's not really it's not an easy industry. Do you know what I mean? But I think, again, one of them things of like, now that they've seen me do well, they almost like, I feel like take it more seriously.
Yeah,
like they're there more than they were previously. Like I feel like they stop by more frequently. But yeah, I mean they've always super supportive. Couldn't have asked for a better group of friends, and especially a better family. They've been super supportive.
Yep. I mean, I don't have the questions for me, but I can sort of like basically echo what you were saying. I think it's harder for like parents and like the older generations to understand what you do, or like, you get it, but they're always like, my mum and dad are always supportive. Like when I tell them, I'm the exact same. Like I'll tell them, and they're like, oh, okay, like they don't really know what it means, but they're like very good, like they're very happy for you and stuff. Like, I'd say an experience of mine, like when I did my first ever subathon, that like my parents were messaging me like, oh, we're so proud, like, you done really well, like blah 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 blah. And like, obviously it's nice to hear that, because when you're just constantly thriving and trying to get somewhere, when like your loved ones tell you something, you've done something good, it's a nice feeling, because you're like, it's like gratification, and you're like, oh, okay, like that's sick, like I'm so happy that, like, you've made them proud, or like they've said something nice about you. I don't think they'll really ever understand it, but like they're supportive. But I know in some cases it isn't that way with certain people, like their parents don't want them to do that, and you hear stories of like they're smashing up their setups and stuff because they think it's a waste of time. And it is I do find it hard to sort of bring it up to adults when you sort of tell them like what you do, because the initial judgment is, oh, well, you don't have a job, like, well, what's your full-time job then, or like, so would you work as then?
That's the hardest part, is like trying to explain to people who maybe aren't family and friends, trying to explain it to random people, like if you're at a party or if you're at the event, they're like, oh, what do you do for work? And I'm like, well, I play video games. All right, how do you make money? Well, people watch me play video games. Why would they do that?
Yeah, that's always the thing. Yeah, they don't get it.
People don't get it.
People don't understand
unless they're into gaming. Like that's just their like that's what my granddad and my nan. That's what they would say. They'd be like,
same.
Well, but why would people watch you play a game instead of playing it themselves?
Yeah,
but why? Okay, but if they can watch you for free, why would they pay to watch you? And it's like kind of hard to explain that, like, because then I'm almost like, oh, I don't know, I'd pay to watch people. So, and I was just like, well, they don't get adverts if they pay. Oh, okay, right. So they don't have to watch the adverts.
What does that
right,
mean
okay.
then?
Yeah.
No, it is very difficult to sort of like say it to your family. But I think like you know, like your loved ones are always supporting you. It's just
yeah. It's just it might be difficult for them to comprehend.
Yeah,
like,
to comprehend what you're
enough.
doing because they don't understand it, which is fair enough. Not everyone understands it or gets it. They some people are just
The explanation I always give is like people pay for entertainment, and that is what I provide.
You do, yeah.
So
yeah.
whether it's entertainment that you might not find it entertaining, but somebody does, and people will pay to either A, support you, B, so they can be entertained without adverts, and then that's just what it comes down to. And then the additional ones, the people who give subs and help, they want to grow a community, who are like seeing the bigger picture and you, like they're doing that because they believe in you and they want to see you do well. You know what I mean? Expand and build on what you've got. So
I'd say like that was the family, but for the friends, I mean, they understand it a bit more, but it is still difficult because it's like you say, well, they come in more. Like my friends are in here most of the time, or like 99% of the time. And obviously, it's nice to see that they actually want to support you because they don't have to. You don't have to support your mate's passion or what he's doing. Like no one's forcing you to come into a stream or click like on a video or watch a video. They do that because they actually want to support you and they know you. Like. I mean, my friend told me to stream ages ago, like when I was like in my like early 20s and stuff, but I just never did it. And then one day I was just like, you know what? Let me just give it a go and see what happens. Obviously, I have some friends that don't come in my stream at all, ever.
Yeah.
But that's just the way it is. Like, people live their lives. Like, you can't force everyone to do it. But, every now and then they were like, oh, that was sick what you did the other day, or I've been watching, but they don't say anything. And like, it's nice to actually hear your friends be like, say something nice about what you're doing, because not everyone has to support what you're doing, and your friends will always tell you if what you're doing wasn't great, or if you could improve it, or what they think. That's the one thing I find hard with is feedback as well. I'm always open to feedback. Like, I don't care. Like, tell me if my video is terrible. Tell me it's terrible. If you didn't like my stream, if you don't like this thing on my, just tell me. Like, I'd rather you tell me than just sitting there and going, oh, do you see what you did? Or like, I'd rather it, because then I can act on it and go, okay, right, I ain't gonna do that anymore. Like, I'll do something different. Which is why I appreciate your friends, like my friends, because they'll just be honest. Like, okay, not all the time. They'll be honest, and I don't hear back a lot about how they feel about what I'm doing, or like if they're happy for me or whatever. But you can sort of know without them telling you. But obviously, it is always nice when they're like, or like family, friends, whatever. When they're like, oh, okay, that was sick that you did that, or that's quality that happened to you, or you're doing well, and it is always a nice thing,
Yeah, it is, and I think kind of coming onto that. I think when I started streaming, like. I'm exactly like who I am on stream is exactly who I am off stream, right? But my life before I started streaming was like Thursday through Sunday, I'd be down the pub, and like in my local area, like I'm quite popular. A lot of people knew who I was, so I had this kind of like, it's like Jack the Lad sort of mentality, right? Streaming kind of like, and obviously a lot of those people who I knew down the pub, but they're not my mates, so they don't know that, when I'm at home, I'm sat there playing on my Xbox or whatever, like 5-6 hours, like, do you know what I mean? Like on the weekends gaming. And so when I started streaming, it was all like hush hush, like, do you know what I mean? It was like new Instagram, like, not gonna tell anyone, like I'm just gonna stream, blah blah blah. And I still haven't changed that. I haven't told people, but it's not because I didn't want to, it's because I don't care to, which has changed like over the years. Is like, I didn't want to tell people before because I was like, oh my, like people are going to judge me. People are going to think I'm, people are going to think I'm this nerd, and I used to care what people about me too much. Whereas now I'm like, well, I could tell them, but I don't actually care to. Like, I don't need to. Yeah. But then in the last few weeks, like, I remember when I was a postman, it happened obviously like, I met someone who I used to meet down the pubs, and he was talking about what we're doing and that. And then he's got like this sweet company, so like he like imports in like US sweets and then like sells them in the UK, like in boxes, like deliver the boxes, post them out and stuff, basically, right?
Right, yeah.
And I was asking him how he was getting on with that, and he was like, "Oh, what do you do like in your spare time?" And that? And I was like, "I do a bit of streaming and that, nothing too serious." Blah blah blah. I was like joking, like, if you ever, you want to sponsor me with some sweets and that. Like, he was like, yeah, like didn't say much to it. And then the other day when I won that tournament, he came in my chat. I think like 2 days after, and he was like, "Oi, just heard from someone that you won a tournament. They see one of your TikToks." Because obviously my TikTok got boosted,
right?
So
Yeah,
people probably know that I stream now, and I've had like people who I used to like know through football and stuff, like follow my like content Instagram and stuff, and like it's just like they're that perception that I thought they would have had is completely different to how it is now, and it might have been different back then. Do you know what I mean? Like they might have thought 5 years ago that what an knobhead, I can't believe he's sat in his bedroom gaming. Whereas now they've grown up a little bit and they're like, oh, he's enjoying, he's got a hobby and he's turned it into a business. Respect. You know what I mean? Like that might have changed. So.
I think people sort of like accept it more when you get like wins, as in like when something good happens to you, they're like, oh, like crap. It's not even like they're not supporting you. It's just sort of like they don't really get the vision unless you're sort of in that. You know what I mean? Like you said, the tournament, they're like, holy crap, like he won that. What, on the Play Apex channel, like he won that amount and blah blah blah. That's sick. Like they actually know it, and then they see a TikTok or whatever. Like a few of my friends will be like, oh, I see your TikTok or whatever, and I'm like, oh, like what the fuck? Or like someone you haven't seen in ages, and you're like, they're like, oh, I saw you on TikTok, and you're like, what? Or like I saw you on like YouTube or whatever. It's one of them ones where when they see success, then they're sort of like, oh, what the fuck? But then you get the other side of people that are like trying to leech off you, and they think, oh. Like I'm not saying it happened to me, but like, people that are like bigger, they must have the people that are like, oh, okay, this person's doing well for themselves. Now let me try and get back in with them and that sort of thing, which is why I think it's always good to remember, which is why I do think like having mods and VIPs and stuff is sort of like a token of, people that have been supporting you from the early days, like from when you first started streaming or, around the time when they're coming into your stream more or they're supporting your content more. Like it's always nice to feel like that's sort of like your way of giving back to people that have like gifted you or donated to you or like been there in every single stream and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? I always think that's like a big point of streaming is like VIPs and mods is it's like the appreciation of it, and it's sort of like when you have someone you VIP and they don't come into your stream anymore, and then they come back, you're like, oh, like how you been? Like how's things going? And where have you been? How's life, etc. And like you never like will forget them because they were there at the start.
Recently with that, I see you.
Oh yeah.
So I hadn't seen. Funny enough, I hadn't seen him for like probably a year and a bit, like up until when Warzone just came out, like the on the new Modern Warfare, whenever that was, like a few months ago or whatever. And I hadn't seen him for probably like a year and a bit. Like his VIP in my disappeared off the face of the earth. And then he comes back and I was like, oh my god, mate, I was literally just talking about you like last week. Then he sends me a RAM upgrade for my PC because he upgraded his RAM, send me his RAM for his PC in the post. Like, do you know what I mean? Like that's like that. It happens all the time. Like people like disappear and then come back. Life gets busy and then they return. But they were always there supporting and day in day out. And I think you always remember those people as well. Like, I hate when those people come into your stream and go. They won't have been there for like 2-3 years. They're like, oh, do you remember me? And mate, I'm being serious, like being fairly honest with you. So much has happened in 2-3 years. There's no chance I'm remembering who you are. Like, unless you're here weekly. Doesn't have to even be daily. Like if you're a weekly and I remember your name, it's gonna stick. But I'm not just gonna remember your name because you said hello in 2020. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
you said 4 messages and dipped. Yeah,
exactly. Like it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean that's just one of them things. That's like seeing through people. When it obviously you get people that are just they wanna, once they see you doing well, they're like, oh, okay, I can leech off this person or whatever. I mean, I'm sure it's happened to you a few times.
I mean, I think I've got quite a good radar for that now, and I'm quite like you'll have known this from when you met me. Like I'm very wary of people anyway, off the rip. Like especially when people are like some people anyway are just like, I mean, I'm the same, like super nice to people off the rip and like buddy. But when people are like buddy with me off the rip, I'm a bit like looking at them sideways, like, what do you want? Do you know what I mean? Like, it takes me a while to like warm to the person, and then I can see like kind of what it is that they're, you know, either A, after, or B, like their genuine intentions. So I'm always just very, very careful, and I feel like I've got a very good judge of character. So I know that's kind of develop over time.
Yeah, you definitely do develop that, because you see like people's actions and how people act on both sides, as in like people that come back and say things and then they do other things, or, you know, you can sort of judge how if someone's genuine or not. But obviously some people can't, and it's obviously fucking difficult. Like, but like, I'm sure some people you would have met that you know really well now, even at the start you'll be like, or like, or if you meet them at an event, or, exactly me,
you. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're a perfect example. When I first met you, or when you first came to my chat, like, you were there, like, you were bantering me and like as if you know me for ages. Why are you trying to be my friend? Like, what's your problem? What do you want? And then it took me like a few months to like get to know you and like come watch your stream, and you know, like, I can see like you were friends with, like, you became friendly with Cass and that, and I was like, okay, people like him, so let me suss him out a bit more. And then, you know, and then I got to know you. But at first I thought I was like, what's this guy doing? Like, for the first, like, I think it was probably about 3-4 months. I was like, what's this geezer want? Like, was he being so nice to me? You know what I mean?
Can't get rid of me, mate.
No, fucking guys.
I'm still here. But I think for me as well, it's the exact same. Like, it's hard to judge someone's intentions just off, you know, a name and their message. Like, it's unless you talk to them outside of streaming, or you know them through other people and you've got mutuals, it's very difficult to just judge someone off just their messages and how they are. You know, if you get to know them a bit more, then you're like, oh, okay, this is why they do this, or that's why they act that way, or, you know, I know they're only joking with that thing. But it's horrible, because people that are conniving and like are that sort of, you know, sneaky and snaky, it just tarnishes people that are actually genuine people that want to be your friend, or want to, you know, connect with you, or like generally want to hang out in your stream. Like, it just makes people have their back up constantly about people in general being nice to them, which is it's a shit feeling, to be honest, like, to even think that about people. But when people are like that, it's just how you sort of have to act, you know, how you take people at face value and stuff. Do you think having an engaged audience makes a difference to sponsors? I suppose this is like two questions in one. Like, you might do numbers, but no one's actually engaging in chat.
Yeah, so I think that was Late Night Llama who said that, because I did read that in chat. To answer that question, I think that there's, so like I was saying, the current way that a lot of companies and brands base their sponsorships off is off concurrent viewers, but that is definitely changing, because I think there is a lot of value in smaller communities, because smaller communities might be more engaged, and also streamers, they don't have control but might have more influence in terms of, because they know the people individually, and they can almost, like, viewers feel like they can trust that person's word more than someone who doesn't really engage with them and get to know them. Like, that there is a lot of value in that. So yes, I think having an engaged audience makes a massive difference to sponsors. You know, even for some people to do sponsor streams, and you know, this is just for anyone. If a streamer ever says, "Can you click the link?" If they're doing a sponsor stream, just click the link. Do you know what I mean? So that's all I'll say.
Yeah, click the link.
Because you know, if it's a sponsored stream and there's that, you know, they're putting in a chat that's a command or whatever, and it's, you know,
it's free, like, guys. Come on, just click the link.
Yeah, like there's things that like that's, but even then that's an engagement, like, you know. But whereas a big streamer, the link might just come in chat and no one's clicking it. They're just too focused on the stream. They're not really interested in. They just like watching the streamer because he's good at the game, but they're not really interested in what he's going on about. You know what I mean? Like what he's talking about with the sponsorship. Whereas someone, you know, might be doing something and might have that bit more influence on the viewers, and therefore the sponsorship does more in terms of, you know.
I think it's more personal. I think because, like, obviously the numbers, like, to the brand mean more, because, you know, you get more exposure, more eyes on it, more people seeing it, but it doesn't always equate to, like, traction and, you know,
Yeah.
outcome. It's not always the way that it is. Like if you have someone who's like engaging with their community, but they only average like 10 or 20, but someone who's just solely focused on the game, they don't really speak to chat that much, you're realistically going to get something out of the person who's got the less viewership because they're in community are engaging with them. They know them, you know, they know what they do, they know what they don't do, they know how they act and stuff. So as a brand, you'd probably want that more than anything because it has more eyes on it, but you know, you can actually promote that more and go like, okay guys, look at this, like this is what they have to offer, like if you want to use this, please use my code, and etc etc, you know. I find that would probably be the easiest way to, if they did actually want to reach out to streamers. But I know, like going back to what Quint was saying, they find it hard, and it's sort of like they don't really know how to work around content creators. It's sort of like a grey area for them. But I think it's gradually getting better, I think.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. And I do think that, you know, realistically, the point at which you're probably going to get meaningful sponsorships is probably around the 15 to 20 viewership mark. Like if you're consistently in that range and higher and you have an engaged community, then you'll potentially find some opportunities if you either go hunting for them, or B, you know, you've built your brand to a point where you're recognizable. And that's just not, you know, you can't get sponsorship just based off Twitch. Unfortunately, you do need to have, Twitch is important, but you do also need to have a little bit of kind of social media presence. So having a Twitter where people can either send you DMs or an email in the bio so they can send you emails, like having a way for them to contact you is important. But yeah, you can get sponsorships from anywhere like 15 viewers upwards, I reckon. Like it's not impossible. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's difficult, but yeah, like you said, it's not impossible because there are some companies that are generally just small companies and they want, you know, to promote their product and they'll come after you because they think, you know, you're on the similar sort of scale with them, rather than going to a massive streamer because they know they're going to have to pay out money, or they're going to have to, you know, give them a load more offers compared to, you know, someone that averages 1,000 to someone that averages like 20. You know, the level of what they're offering is going to be completely different because you're not going to offer the exact same as someone who's bringing in not even a tenth of their viewership, or you know what I mean?
Yep.
But yeah, I think he is getting better overall. Like in content, that people are like, brands are reaching out to content creators and getting them on certain things, and like esports is growing quite a lot as well. It's good to see because like I think people forget how much content creators actually have a pull on, or like, you know, an engagement on a certain product or whatever they're promoting, because like they, you know, if it's live or, you know, if it's on a video, people are more likely going to want to watch it, or they're going to be exposed to it, rather than it being like just some random person who doesn't care about anything they're doing. They just post it and that's it, they're done.
Put it this way, right? So let's say, for example, let's take these headphones, for example, right? You see this advert on TV, boom, headphones, you know, £70, right? Or £110, get yourself a pair of headphones, right? How many adverts you see a day that you just completely ignore? I mean, I can't even remember the last time I actually watched an advert and went, oh, might buy that, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, if I go to someone's stream and I'm like, oh, what headset's that you got on? And they're like, oh, yeah, it's this headset. How long have you had it for? Like, you can speak to that person, actually ask them firsthand and get feedback. How long have you had it for? Oh, I've had it for 5-6 months. What? And you've like, how good is it? Yeah, no, it's great. You know, like really comfortable. The audio's clear. You know, it's wireless. They might even be trying to sell it to you, but for the feedback you're getting is crucial, and that's more likely to make you engage and buy a product than it is from spending thousands of pounds to get that advert in front of do you know what I mean? In front of X amount of people, and then no one buys it.
Yeah, because you sort of give descriptive details about, you know, the product and why you think it's good and that sort of thing, rather than it just being like, here's the product, here's the price, have it. You know, it ain't always like that. So that's why I think eventually it'll get bigger, but for now it's still quite small. I don't think a lot of content creators really do, and like when they do like bigger brands and they do sign to like massive companies or do partnerships, everyone's like, whoa, like this person's doing a deal with, you know, whoever it is, like a massive company or whatever. But yeah, I mean, eventually we'll get there, I guess. It's just
100%,
just
mate.
one of them things in it that's will
Yeah.
just grow. I mean, content has only really been big in the past,
Decade.
yeah, pretty much. And then obviously it takes time to eventually grow that up.
Yep.
But yeah, we'll get there, mate. I think that's everything we're done, mate. I'm pretty sure that's the whole shebang wrapped up. But yeah, if you want to go check out Lucas on any of these platforms, I'll shout out his Twitch in chat. His link tree is at the top as well. If you want to go follow him on any of these social media platforms, I'll spam it in chat quickly.
Thanks for having me on.
That's right, mate. Thanks for coming on, mate. I appreciate it. I knew you'd like this as well. I thought you'd have a good thingy.
Yeah. Hopefully a lot of people, you know, got something from it, even if the whole thing wasn't educational and you felt like it was rambling. Like, even if you took something from it, again, my DMs are always open, Discord, Twitter, whatever. Like, if you ever think there was any questions from this that you think, you know, oh, I'd like to know more, you know, you can always ask.